Now that notorious crime boss and kingpin Ross Monaghan is no longer alive after being killed while outside his own bar, the Monaghan pub, located on the seafront of Costa del Sol, in what has been described as a professional hit, police have now looked back on the crimes Ross Monaghan was implicated in, and they have now come out and sensationally says that Ross Monaghan's DNA had been found on a pistol used to and kill Daniel crime gang enforcer Kevin Gerbil Carroll. At 29 years old, Kevin Gerbil Carroll had firmly established himself as a madman whom did not know what fear was. But his own need to prove himself as a top enforcer and gangster and a person not to mess with was what ultimately got the dad of 2K'd in an Asda carpark in Robroyston on January 13th back in 2010, when the gangster had told dealer Stephen Glen, "You work for me now," minutes before he was down. Now, two masked men had been witnessed running back to a Volkswagen Golf after Kevin Gerbil Carroll in a planned execution. Kevin had been sat in an Audi A3 in the back seat, the doors locked, unable to escape when GUNs were trained on him, and the trigman had emptied the mag 13 times. After the masked men had got back in the Volkswagen Golf, the Volkswagen had been traced back, travelling from the Asda to Coultbridge, where the pistols, multiple of them, were dumped in a bush. They had been recovered. The car was actually found later on alight on a country road by a farmer in North Lanarkshire. The entire M took 25 seconds, just 25 seconds from start to finish. Now, Ross Monaghan was actually arrested in connection of the M, but in what was described as a blunder, a judge cleared Ross of any involvement due to a lack of sufficient evidence. He was therefore let go. Now, police have now said that new DNA evidence has linked Ross Monaghan to the GUN used only after he had been cleared by a judge. Now, the crime kingpin Ross Monaghan's DNA was found on the inner workings of the pistol, which would prove that he was one of the 2Ks that had executed Daniel crime gang enforcer Kevin Gerbil Carroll. Only now it's too late. Stay safe, safe.